Right. Welcome to the office, boys. So keep your enemies close or keep your competition close. So that's what we're going to be diving into today. I'm moving more towards helping founders like myself and creating a community of founders, people that are trying to make a difference in the world and in their life and build their brand and their businesses their way. So yeah, let's just dive right in. So competition. It's really crucial to find what is working in another market and applying it to another. That's a cheap way of how to do your startup, right? So that's basically what we did for energy drinks, right? So we are moving like what is working for coffee should work for energy drinks as well. It's the same gimmick, it's the same principle. We just need to market it the right way, right? And what works for coffee works for milk, works for oats, works for, they have a lot of, and soda stream as well. So they have a lot of options but when it comes to these like kitchen appliances. But in hindsight, they're all in a different market, right? Somebody focuses on coffee, someone is focused on like the sodas or the carbonation, one is focused on the milk, another one is focused on like the tea, they have tea machines as well. And then we have like ice cream machines. We have machines to make butter. So there are a lot of industries and a lot of markets to mimic, because we're starting out. We actually had a hard time finding competitors who were doing the same things as us. But now we have actually done quite well. So I will get down that in the end of the presentation because, yeah, that's my story time, right? So find what's working in another market and apply it to yours or apply it to another market if you're just starting out. So crucial to find competitors before going out and try not to reinvent the wheel in the beginning. But if you want to go that route, that's fine. We can also talk about that. That's what I did. So, but I would not recommend it because of mental stress, just stress in general. But yeah, then just start testing the MVPs, testing the market, setting everything up, seeing what's working. Let's move on. So, research your competitors. I would also always recommend using a SWOT analysis. That's a SWOT analysis is basically you can just Google it. It's just strategic planning on how to analyze your competitors and get the competitor research done right. So just Google SWOT analysis or I can just send it over, but just Google it and you will figure it out what it is. So, and you can also find it in some templates as well. So you can just put your companies in as well. So SWOT analysis, you got to be able to do the competitor research as well. What I do when I'm doing competitor research, I just I focus on an industry, right? So for my business, what we did was focus on the coffee industry, and then we focused on like the weird industries, right? Like the milk and the cheese, they're like the makers, the wine makers, the beer makers, the coffee makers, the milk makers, the cheese makers, the ice cream makers, all of that, trying to get the knowledge into the home appliance situation, So what we got out of that is we have two ways to go. We have basically three ways to go. So three personas we created. So we have women, stay-at-home women or like just housewives in general, right? People that are going into the shops and like women that are taking care of their families. I want a healthy beverage dispenser or an energy maker, because they want to be able to keep track on their family's energy drink intake, right? And then we have the gamers, and then we have the just basically fitness or the active person, right? So now we gotta be able to test this. We gotta test out these theses. We're gonna test out these target markets. So it's really crucial to have competitors to find out what's working for them, and you need to find out what you need to cut out and what you need to focus on regarding to what is your main focus, right? What should you mention? What should you leave out? Because people just scan your websites. They don't really go and read every single word you wrote, right? So you got to be able to know what to cut out and what to leave in, right? So take a look at the market, just do your competitor analysis, like a SWOT analysis. Focus on an industry you want to focus on. Like for me, we focused on the coffee, milk, and like the maker industries, the household industries. So we were able to create three personas out of that, and we already tested quite a few. But and the gamer industry really boomed off. But for the other ones, the people did not really understand the gimmick, like what the reason was behind it. So yeah, let's move on. Apply it, take action, right? Okay, apply what's working for them to your market or your product. Don't just do the research. You have to apply and test, right? Trials and errors is key. You gotta be able to remember that trials and errors are key. Trials and errors are key. So if you're not making mistakes, you're not thinking big enough. Remember that. So apply what is working for them to your product or your market. It's really simple. Just do the competitor analysis and it will all become clear to you. When I first started out, I didn't know, I'll just do it my way. I'm just doing it my way. But it's not my way, it's the market's way. So you got to be able to read the market and see what the market wants and see what the demand is like and to supply that demand. Don't try to create the demand and then supply it. Just find where the demand is and supply it, right? But sometimes you gotta create the demand. Like for me, example, like this company is gonna be my biggest one yet, and we are on the road to yeah, we are on the road to getting large sum of investments as well into this business. So this is gonna be a $1 million company really soon. So you gotta keep that in mind. We are building an empire. We are not building a e-com store. We are building an empire, right? We provide the product, they distribute. That's the key to being a founder, right? At least for me. I want to do a lot in the beginning and very little in the end, right? That's the goal. So, update, story time, my experience, what I'm doing now, my main focus for the business. We kind of went into it all, but so my experience when doing like these competitor analysis and figuring out how to test and how to market your products has been quite adventurous to be honest, because we have we have been working on this business for quite some time, and but every single time when we get down a little bit, or we have to wait for engineers or the team to finish off the product stage we are in. But now we are getting like a clear vision. We are getting everything we need, like the content we need to run the marketing campaigns, the content we need to run the newsletters, and just being able to test out your thesis and your products, especially when you've been in product development for almost 14 months now. So just being able to test your product and show what you've been working on all these years to the market, that in itself is just phenomenal, man. The feeling is unmatched. So I would recommend I would not recommend doing this to be honest, but this is what keeps me young. This is what keeps me alive. Handling big decisions and focusing on the big things in life, right? Making a difference, helping people, create jobs, create a business that is set to change the world, change the dynamic on how we look at but how we look at the industry in general, man. Like how our startup company is gonna be remembered, we are gonna be, or how it's gonna be built. It's gonna be phenomenal because we are gonna be having these values. We have already set up our values, and we are just trying to get the best how we should showcase them. But that's gonna be amazing. So that's my main focus. Like, what am I doing right now? My main focus right now, today, is finding the competitors, seeing how their website looks, so I can apply it to ours and see what's working for them. Because these companies have been funded before. I think it got like $2 million or 20 million, no, $2 million, right? I think $2 million is Shark Tank or something. One of those companies, and they are selling milk. So being able to apply it to the energy drink industry, because the industry is booming. I think it's at right like 25 billion, or it's gonna be set to 30 billion by 2030. So the potential there is huge. So it's gonna be endlessly, and as well the markets are really poised to the woman consumer right now, the stay-at-home mom, and yeah, just the family woman or the families, right? They're moving more towards families, so you gotta be careful what we put in our drinks, right? You can't be selling shit like Prime. So, but yeah, that's my main focus right now, just getting this all together, getting everything, the content ready. So, yeah. Also, what I'm doing right now, I'm going over my team, and I'm gonna tell you how my team looks like. So, to begin with, my team looks like this. We have a project manager. We have our engineers that handle the product development. We have our graphics team that handles all the creatives, all the graphics, kind of says it itself. But we have the marketing team, but they just focus on helping us set up the campaigns. And then we have our strategic launch partner. We have not yet launched yet, so I won't include it in my team. But then we have a lawyer, and then we have an accountant. Those two are really important, especially when you're running a startup company, because this is a business where you're gonna be a lot of income and a lot of revenue, and we're gonna be getting investments from third parties and investors. So be careful who you hire, but you gotta be able to have a money man, financials. So I'm gonna leave it to you guys today. So cut it out, and we'll see you in the next one.